Hey, Joan. I know what I want for Christmas, Joan. You ready?
I'm ready. What is it?
I want a better computer for the radio station.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Santa
we are on radio only right now because our computer in the back has crashed. And so we're going to continue on, though. Sam is running back and forth trying to get the stream going on. So you people that are waiting for the stream, it'll be here momentarily.
And just cheer on Sam, who's getting his exercise this morning.
He is.
Yeah.
You know what? Thanks to the IT department, Sam is getting his steps.
You would think that...
You know, you're welcome, Sam.
Yeah. Maybe they would schedule...
You would think that they would... What happened is the computer just started rebooting just moments before 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens. I would never in a million years say, did somebody actually schedule that for 5 o'clock on a Monday morning?
You'd think like around midnight on Sunday would be a nice time.
I don't want to do conspiracy theories, and I don't want to be a Danny Downer. I'm in a great mood. Joan's back. Hello, Joan.
Hi there.
So glad that you are back. Not that Sam didn't do a great job, and Mason was here as well. But as I'm reminded every day on the Super Text line, there is no replacing Joan Jones.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm. So appreciate you showing up for work today. So remember, a new computer...
Right.
For the radio station. By the way, you folks that are missing us on Super Talk TV right now, you're not really missing much because, Joan, you'll notice, and then I promise I'm going to get down to business.
Yeah.
But on Friday, I noticed that the big Super Talk logo was missing from the back TV here.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
And apparently it's still missing. So even, it's there instead is a big, what is that, a cockatoo? I don't know. Toucan Sam.
Toucan, yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so we're already on, 2 of our 4 wheels. Actually, it's like 2 in our 3.5 wheels that we usually have every single morning. Anyway, thank you for listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So there's a lot going on today. Man, let me tell you something. Donald Trump versus MTG and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know how much you folks have been paying attention to that. I've got all the latest on that. MAGA seems to be... There's now we're into 2 camps. I was trying to figure out with a friend if I could figure out now the 2 camps that conservatives are in, right? You've got MAGA and you've got America First. So it seems like right now the America Firsters are someone like a Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example, maybe a Rand Paul, maybe a Thomas Massey. And so, but there's all kinds of splintering within MAGA and within America First. And so it does seem like the conservatives are now sort of in 2 different camps, if you will. Now, Donald Trump is, of course, head of MAGA. Just ask him. And one of the things that I believe is dividing these 2 camps is, number 1, is support for Israel. Number 2, you have, of course, and we've talked a lot about this last week, 600,000 Chinese students coming into our colleges. You have that as well. Other things, the H-1B visa fiasco from last week as well. So MAGA, apparently those are the big 3 issues between MAGA and America First, is the H-1B visa controversy, the 600,000 Chinese students, and, Donald Trump and the support for Israel. So those are the 3 big differences between these 2 camps. And it's going to be really interesting to watch. I'm going to continue. I'm trying to figure out where I fit into all this because like a lot of folks, I myself am splintered. I believe that we should support Israel. So that puts me in, I suppose, the MAGA camp, right? However, in the bottom depths of my soul, I believe that the H-1B visa programs are abused. They need to be cleaned up. We do have talent in this country, but Trump has some points in that as well, saying, yeah, but there's some jobs where we just need to fill in the ranks. All right, fine, whatever. And when it comes to the 600,000 Chinese students, no flipping way. So I'm sort of in the middle, I suppose, of these 2 camps. I don't know, Joan, when we talk about these things, I mean, you're online as much as I am. Do you see a difference between MAGA and America First? Because it seems like those are the three big issues. I think hemp is going to be another one.
It is going to be a big one.
Hemp is going to be a huge. I don't want to get into all that, but I'm really upset. Do you know that I have not met one conservative or Republican, and maybe they're just afraid to tell me, but I haven't met anybody who is happy with the hemp ban either. So I think that there is just, there's a lot that is now separating a very splintered conservative or Republican Party. There's a lot of splintering going on right now, and the president is doing everything he can to navigate the situation with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I'm going to tell you, I think that she's got some great points, although for me, I'm a little frustrated. Oh, by the way, Epstein, obviously one of those issues as well. I got to start writing down all the issues on a list. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is like all over the place. Do you think, Joan, she's enjoying the attention, Marjorie Taylor Greene? She was on with Dana Bash. She was on with Bill Maher.
She's attention
everywhere.
hog, and you know that. She always has.
You can say the other word. You can say the W word.
I can't. No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
an attention hog, like David Hogg with 2 G's.
Right, right, exactly.
Well, you're right. I think she's fixing to run for governor. That's what I think she's going to do. I think she is going to run for governorship for the state of Georgia, and I've got some great audio from her coming up. But Brian Kemp is termed out. Oh, okay. Are we back on now? All right. So good morning to the people on Super Talk TV, and I'm sorry you had to just listen to the radio. So anyway, there's a lot to talk about with Donald Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene. As a matter of fact, now that we're on, the Daily Dan poll for YouTube is: Are you team DJT or MGT, Marjorie Taylor Greene?
And why do we have to split ourselves? It's stupid. All of this is dumb, but you're right. I think she is running for governor.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, because Donald Trump does not have a great relationship right now with the current governor, Brian Kemp, for the state of Georgia. And there's a part of her, obviously, that feels like she needs to be less MAGA to appeal to the more independent voters or the more moderate voters in Georgia, which I mean, apparently there are a lot. By the way, do you know who also may be considering, I can't believe this, another run for the governorship for the state of Georgia?
Who?
Stacey Abrams.
Get out of here.
Do you want to know my theory on this?
Ugh.
My theory is Stacey Abrams needs to get on the government health and dental so that she can get that space fixed between her teeth. I think that's what she's trying to do. Is that?
Yeah, it sounds right.
I'm sorry.
You could fit an electric school bus between that gap.
You could. Or all the lies that she tells, just flying out between that gap. That's like that gap is like the lie creator, Stacey Abrams. The lies just come flying out of the middle of her, whatever. See, I shouldn't be making fun of Can I just tell you there's a lot more. You know what? Because people get mad at me when I actually go after people for how they look. I mean, because certainly look at me. I am a huge prize.
Clearly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I woke up this morning, and then I'm going to get down to business. I woke up this morning, Joan. Mm-hmm. Christmas had arrived in the Mandis household.
Oh, nice.
So I go, I told you, this is what Amy does, right? I wake up, and magically a Christmas tree is in the middle of the living room, and eggnog is in the refrigerator.
That's awesome.
It's a Christmas miracle even before Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
I love it. Does
she do it to surprise you in the morning?
I think at this point she does. I think that, you know, I kind of get a sense of where she's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what am I going to wake up to? You know? How many, do you guys have just one tree, Joan, 2, 3? How many do you have in your home?
We have one.
You have one?
Yeah. We have one in the house, and then we have one. My husband loves his trains, so he sets up a train platform, and we have to have one on the train platform, too.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Mm-hmm. Amy's trying to get me to buy one of those sleds. So you put the tree in the sled.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, you know what's not cute? Me trying to navigate around it at midnight when I'm trying to walk downstairs. It's because our home is only so big.
Right.
And I told Amy we don't have the room for, you know, that big of a sled. So, you know, you think the negotiation of the continuing resolution was difficult?
Yeah.
That's me trying to negotiate this sled situation with Amy and have I didn't know you could actually, it's like an ornament kind of a thing. You put the Christmas tree in the sled, and it's just a pulpit, whatever. Anyway, so I woke up and eggnog was indeed in the refrigerator. I didn't know she had ordered any.
Very nice.
I'm not a big eggnog fan, so I'm just telling you. I like candy corn. I don't like eggnog. It is 5:15. Joan, what's going on the roadways?
Looks like not a whole lot, Dan. Actually, we have one place that is, looks like there's some trouble. It's in Hermitage. It's on Chute Lane at Saundersville Road. There's a crash there involving injuries. But everything else looks good this morning heading in on all the major roadways. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So did you say that thing over there on Chute Lane, was it an accident?
Yes.
Is it an injury crash?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know where Chute Lane is? Are you?
No, I was just, you know what? I was going to make a bad joke.
Probably should not.
Where it's like somebody gets on an accident on Chute Lane, they probably say shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look at the time. It is 5:16 on Nashville's Morning News. All right. So is this Donald Trump? Is this Donald Trump acknowledging that maybe he may have gone too far on tariffs? This is the headline. Because I'm listening to all these people over the weekend. Oh, Donald Trump, he's realizing he shanked it on tariffs, right? Trump is cutting tariffs on beef, coffee, bananas, and other food imports. This happened on Friday. Big topic of conversation over the weekend. The president exempted foods like beef, coffee, bananas from his sweeping country-by-country tariffs on Friday as the administration grapples with cost of living frustrations and quickly rising prices for some types of food. So we're talking about coffee, tea, bananas, mangoes, avocados, coconuts, pineapples, cocoa, and spices such as nutmeg, according to an executive order. It also covers beef, oranges, and tomatoes. So you got all these people that are positioning this as a loss for the president, right? Oh, he realizes he made a mistake. But the president is saying, listen, I've made substantial progress in negotiating trade deals with other countries. So if we're making all these great deals, then why should I continue to punish these countries with high tariffs, right? So I understand what the president is saying. And here's the thing. Only in Trump deranged syndrome America will the same people that are screaming about how awful the tariffs are now screaming that Donald Trump is reducing the tariffs on these particular items. Do you know what I mean? The president can't win for losing. The food products will no longer be covered by the reciprocal tariffs that Mr. Trump imposed on most U.S. trading partners, which range from 10 to 40% or more. Some types of food could still be impacted by other forms of tariffs. But see, here's the other thing that I would say is that if Donald Trump is recognizing and he's got people telling him that to help out the American people, it would be wise to lower the tariffs, then, okay, he's going to lower the tariffs. Some people would say that this is the president listening to the American people who are out there saying that affordability is an issue. But I do understand that President Trump himself and his staff, Scott Bessent, others, have come out and said, well, the countries are paying the tariffs, not the American people. So then how is this going to ultimately help the economy? But Trump is saying the reason why I'm lowering these tariffs is because we've reached good deals or better deals with these particular countries. So whatever. I think it's going to be good if we start to see the prices of these items go down. Not a big deal to me. I think that is great. You know what I really liked, though, this weekend? What I really liked is that despite the fact, and by the way, I don't want to bury the lead. Trump came out over the weekend. I don't even know what day it was. A lot happened over the weekend. But he says, please, Congress, vote on the Epstein files already. Mike Johnson, do it. I don't care. That's what Donald Trump said. Do you know that there is more? There is more, and I think I said this to you this morning, Joan. There is more evidence that shows that Donald Trump did nothing untoward with those girls than evidence that he did. The face of the whole Epstein files horrifying story, Virginia Giuffre, she actually came out and said Donald Trump did nothing wrong Another one of these women came out earlier this year and also said Donald Trump did nothing wrong. And every time the Democrats believe that they have something that's going to absolutely bury Donald Trump, Joan, you weren't here. It was a coordinated attack, or maybe you were. I can't remember now. But it was a coordinated attack with CNN, where CNN, they uncover, right, all these emails that supposedly implicate Donald Trump. The only thing that those emails proved last week was that Jeffrey Epstein was actually trying to work not only with the media, but also a Democrat trying to bury Donald Trump. But there's no evidence that Donald Trump did anything wrong. And Jeffrey Epstein himself proved in those emails that he was working with the New York Times to try to take out the president. So there's a lot going on. Donald Trump, and by the way, the House of Representatives, apparently they are going to vote on that bill. I forget exactly what you call it, but to try to get the DOJ to release the Epstein files. Trump is saying, by all means, knock yourselves out. Go ahead. And vote on that, and they're going to vote on it tomorrow. It looks like they have the votes to try to compel the Department of Justice to release all of those documents. And, the Republicans voted last week to release some documents. You also have the Senate, who's got their own agenda, and Donald Trump has his own agenda as well. We'll ultimately see where all of this goes. But I think Trump is so clearly ready to move on. And I think that the best thing to do right now is to release everything. That's the only way that you're going to get most of these people to back down, and transparency is always the best way to go. And if you want to disarm your enemies, just release the stuff. I mean, you're already, and I don't really understand, people that say, well, Donald Trump doesn't want these things, doesn't want these documents released. I don't think Donald Trump cares. I don't think he's cared in a long time. That's the whole point that I've been making. Hey, Joan.
Yes, sir.
Glad you're back.
Thank you.
Sam, great job filling in. Now, Sam, I've got an assignment for you.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
He's going to be so excited.
I need you to grok fancy, expensive dresses wore by Michelle Obama, okay? Can you do that for me? Fancy, expensive dresses worn by Michelle Obama, fancy designers and all that kind of stuff. Just find that for me. So, Joan, they've been talking about
My phone wanted to autocorrect it to Michael.
Did you say that on the air? Did you say that? Okay, that's very funny. Good. I never know whether or not he's speaking in my headphones or actually on the air, but that was good. Jonathan Alpert is a psychiatrist who is on Fox News. First of all, Joan, real quick, do you believe that Trump derangement syndrome truly is a thing?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. People have destroyed their lives and their careers from their Trump derangement syndrome. So this was on Fox on Friday. Jonathan Alpert is a psychiatrist of some sort, psychotherapist. And he said, oh, yeah, this is real.
Identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Well, Harris, it doesn't take long for me to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. Mm-hmm. They're fixated. They're hyper-fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered.
Wow. Is that not the craziest thing? They talk about, that you've hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Well, like if you're like an alcoholic, when you have, I guess, lost everything and so forth. There are people that have lost careers and loved ones and everything else because of their Trump derangement syndrome. Because they do. Look at the BBC. Yeah. I'm sorry, I went up 5 octaves.
Yes, you did.
But look at the BBC, right? So the BBC, and I don't know, by the way, who designated the BBC. Did you designate the BBC as like the most trusted news source in the world? I don't know. I don't know who did that. But even the BBC, the most trusted news source in the world, supposedly neutral and all that, deceptively edited Donald Trump's January 6th speech. That's been in the news the last couple of weeks. So you have once highly respected journalists and media outlets who have lost all credibility because of their Trump derangement syndrome. You also have how many different people? I mean, millions of people that have lost loved ones because of their Trump derangement syndrome as well. So, or their loved ones, TDS. So I actually believe with this Jonathan Alpert, I actually believe that Trump derangement syndrome is an actual condition. Now, whether or not this means that, you're going to have the pharmaceutical companies say, "Oh, we've got just the cure for that." I'll tell you what, though, all these folks that are, taking hemp kind of products, CBD kind of products to deal with their Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm just going to have trouble sleeping. Here's more.
So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
These people come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
Well, and Trump is the trigger for many of these people. And to be that fixated on a figure, on a person, it's simply not healthy. And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, "I hope you're all Republicans," to the surgeons. And the response was, "Today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans." Yeah. But our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
Mm-hmm. Is that not the craziest thing? The defining pathology of our time, Trump derangement syndrome. And he brings up a great point about Reagan. Now, I'm not going to say that everyone was united when Reagan was shot. I'm sure that there were some people that were, secretly hoping that he would die. But the thing is, it's a heck of a lot better than what we're seeing these days with the attempted assassinations of Donald Trump and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I mean, you look at what happened in the 80s. What year was that when Reagan was it 86? 85, 86, I think, when President Reagan was, I may be way off. 86, 85? I was in social studies class when the attempted assassination on Ronald Reagan.
81.
81! 81.
And then proceeded to win every state but Minnesota?
No. What? Yeah, but so the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan, I guess, was 1981. I thought I was in social studies class. Actually, social studies class was when the Challenger blew up for yours truly, which was, I think, a junior, senior in high school. 81.
86.
86. There you go. All right. Anyway, bottom line is that you look at the reaction, the world and our nation's reaction to the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan versus the attempted assassinations of Donald Trump. And the differences in reaction. I mean, you have people, again, not to belabor the point, but celebrating the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, wishing that Donald Trump was actually gunned down right there on television in front of God and the world. And, I mean, clearly, as this guy says, this psychotherapist says, we have lost our way.
What do you see? Because you told me off camera 3/4 of your patient load right now has what you're calling this TDS.
Well, 3/4 of my patients will present with a lot of these symptoms, and within probably 5 minutes of seeing me, their hatred for Trump comes up. So if you're that hyper-focused on Trump, that's a real issue, and it's worth being treated.
I don't know how they treat it, though.
Yeah, how did he go on to say how they treat it?
No.
Do they try to talk people off a ledge? Or, I mean, how do you treat that?
I don't know. I mean, do you give them drugs? Do you just encourage them to be alcoholics? I don't know. I don't care. Here's the thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you were that far gone, then whatever. But I grokked a great checklist, Joan, of symptoms of TDS.
Oh, okay,
You ready?
Good. Ready.
Spontaneous caps lock seizures. You type entire paragraphs in all caps for no reason, then blame it on residual Trump energy. So, because, when people are texting or posting on social media, it's in all caps.
Right.
Because you're talking about Donald Trump. Phantom menace reflex. Every red baseball cap within 50 yards triggers an immediate fight or flight response. Bonus points if you hiss at a blank wall because it once had a Trump poster in 2015. All right. News-induced Tourette's. You scream, "Orange man bad," at random intervals, even when the TV is off and you're just reheating lasagna. Selective time blindness. You're convinced it is still November of 2016 and that the election is happening any day now. Covfefe nightmares. You wake up in a cold sweat trying to decode a 4-letter typo that happened 8 years ago. Uncontrollable fact-checking spasms. You interrupt Thanksgiving dinner to scream, "That's not what Snopes said in 2018, while everyone quietly passes the gravy. See, I think these are kind of funny, and they're actually true. Magaphobia. The sight of an American flag on a pickup truck causes you to clutch your emotional support oat milk latte and whisper, "Fascism," under your breath. Chronic outrage overload. Your resting heart rate is 140 BPM because you just discovered a 74-year-old man in Florida still likes the guy. Terminal irony deficiency. You call everyone else in a cult while attending your third Democracy Dies in Darkness candlelight vigil this month. All right, so that's funny. Let's see here. Reality distortion field. You genuinely believe literally Hitler is scheduled to open the concentration camps next Tuesday again. Sudden onset of Canadian citizenship fantasies. You've bookmarked 3 different How to Move to Nova Scotia articles that you first saved in 2016. How many people have left? Like, you've had Ellen DeGeneres, Rosie O'Donnell, right?
Yeah.
Has anybody else left? I mean, I don't know. I don't really pay much attention anymore. Advanced stage symptoms of TDS, you refer to 2017 through 2021 as the dark times, with the same gravitas as Lord of the Rings. You own a Not My President shirt that's now vintage, and you still can't say the years 2025 through 2029 out loud without doing the sign of the cross. So, I mean, personally, I find that funny. And they don't say, and maybe there's another clip out there that shows how you actually do cure people of TDS. I do find it funny. Real quick, and later on in the show, what do you have? I see your mic is on there, Sam.
Yeah, so I can't track really the number of people who have moved out of the country, but apparently Google searches post-election, November 5th and 6th, 2024, searches for migration-related terms surged 1,514%.
Yeah, but that could also be migration as in illegal migration?
Well, no, it's talking about moving from the U.S. to other countries specifically. So terms like moving to New Zealand from the U.S. spiked 7,600%. How to move to Canada and immigrate from U.S. hit record highs.
Do you know, I wish they would, because there'd be more affordable housing for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they take their crappy policies with them.
Hey, you guys want to hear what Michelle Obama said?
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready.
We ain't ready, she says, for a female president. We ain't ready, is what Michelle Obama says.
That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not.
Okay, so number one, I would invite Michelle Obama to look at the train wreckery that was the Kamala Harris campaign. That's number one. And number two, Hillary wasn't much better. I love how these people on the left, they're like, oh, Michelle Obama, I should say, Kamala Harris was the most qualified candidate ever. Well, then how is it that she lost so gloriously
miserably
to Donald Trump, right? So when Michelle Obama says, she...
Doing a little bit of a Jasmine Crockett there.
I don't know who she's talking to, right? But she gets her street cred voice on, and she starts talking like she's from the street. And she says, because the question was about running for president, she says, y'all ain't ready for female president, no, we weren't ready for Kamala Harris as a president because she was a train wreck, and so is Hillary Clinton.
So don't waste my time. You know, we got a lot of growing up to do. And there's still, sadly, a lot of men who do not feel like they can be led by a woman, and we saw it.
Piss off. Do you know what I mean? Piss off. Do you know I'm trying to think now. I've had 3 or 4 general managers in my time. And I'm just going to relate this to my own personal experience. I've had 3 to 4 general managers in my time, and I'm going to tell you that a couple of them were better than the male general managers that I've had. One female general manager that I've had, best general manager I've ever had. And so I'm just going to say that this whole notion of a lot of men who can't be led by a woman is complete BS. And what she's actually doing is she's trying to distract from the fact that Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton were terrible candidates. And by the way, sexist much? Is that not sexist? To say that, all men are not willing to be led by a woman, which I believe is BS. I would happily vote for a woman. Happily vote for a woman if there is a good one out there that I thought could lead the country.
Yeah, I think it also takes some honest self-reflection. One of the things my wife loves to say is, I can't trust another female. Why would I vote for one?
Oh.
Gets a little catty like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm going to take her opinion more seriously than somebody else trying to tell me to vote for a female.
All right, here's more.
What was the question?
I just said, we don't need to ask it again. You answered it.
Whatever. All right, now.
Look at those satellite dishes for earrings.
Oh, the question asker?
Yeah.
Well, we're on the radio, but yeah, she's got ridiculous-looking earrings. Let's go through Michelle Obama's very quickly now because we're running out of time. Tell me, though, before I play this piece of audio coming up, tell me the really stupidly expensive dresses that Michelle Obama has worn over the years.
So the inaugural ball gown that she wore by Jason Wu, estimated value $100,000 to $150,000. It was a custom one of one.
For a dress.
For a dress. It's now in the Smithsonian.
Why is it in... Go on.
Naeem Khan, state dinner for Singapore, a rose gold chainmail and crystal embroidered gown, $25,000 to $40,000. Okay. A Versace dress for an Italy state dinner that was between $80,000 and $120,000.
Right, so embedded in we get the idea. Thank you, Sam. So the question was asked, or this conversation goes to, isn't it a shame that first ladies are supposed to be, dressing in a certain way and looking a certain way? I want to play this and just point out the hypocrisy, because the point for her to make this point was when she was in the Oval Office. Instead, she engaged in the fancy and expensive dresses. Listen to this.
So thank you all for being there for us.
You stepped into a role that carried a preconceived idea of femininity and wifedom that was founded on the landmines of racism and misogyny.
Oh,
what
my
the First
gosh.
Lady wears is one of the main ways, which you've already said, that a First Lady is talked about. It comes with so much historical expectation. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the fact that the First Lady is an archetype for wifedom and femininity?
So you heard her mention about the things that the First Lady wears. Okay, well, Michelle Obama, let me play the audio, then I'm gonna comment.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Don't agree with that. It's it is a completely throwback on. It's a definition that has no current status.
So basically, she's saying that it's BS that the first ladies have to wear all of this fancy stuff and be the archetypes of whatever the hell it was. So if that was the case, though, then, Joan, I'd have to ask this question. Mm-hmm. Why did she not go to TJ Maxx?
Yeah, right.
For her inaugural gowns? Why didn't she not go to, I don't know, Walmart or Target?
I have the answer.
Go ahead.
She would have to rub elbows with the unwashed masses.
Oh, she doesn't want to go in. Can you imagine Michelle Obama
She doesn't want to go in her
TJ
pajama
Maxx?
bottoms. to the Walmart, which many people do.
Including a lot of men. Don't get me started.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so, but you see my point.
Yeah.
You know, she's spent 8 years in the White House. So if she wanted to break that mold, and if she wanted to, you know, bring the first lady image down a few pegs, she very well could have. I'd be willing to bet. I've been to Washington, D.C. I know where the White House is. I'd be willing to bet there is a TJ Maxx or a Walmart within 10 minutes of the White House. I'd be willing to bet.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Somewhere in, the greater Washington, D.C. area, if they haven't closed down because of crime, they have a TJ Maxx or a Walmart or a Target. And she could have lowered that expectation herself. But he chose not to, which tells you that she is a hypocrite.
Yeah, the cheapest dress she wore, according to Grokkin, any time, since her relevance as being the first lady was $15,000.
Wow. All right. There you go.
Oh, but that's not very average American person now, is it?
No, boy.
Especially considering some of them were loaned, gifted, or heavily discounted and custom made for her.